Now, the first question, it says in a small college, students are allowed to take only one specialization. Traditionally, only two specializations are offered. So, science and arts. Science and arts. Students enrolled to specialize in science must take physics and mathematics subjects. So, physics and mathematics subjects. While students enrolled to specialize in arts must take economics and political science. So, economics and political science, ESC. Okay. Students enrolled in science are not allowed to take either economics or political science. So, science will not take economics or political science. And similarly, I think, yeah, students enrolled in arts are not allowed to take physics or maths. Fantastic. Let me write PHY so that there is no confusion. Recently, the college has started third specialization called Math Eco. Math Eco. Math Eco. And that has students to take economics and mathematics. So, economics and mathematics. Right, very good. Okay, who would not be allowed to take either physics or political science? So, that is clear that Math Eco would be economics and mathematics. Arts would be economics and political science, and science would be physics and mathematics. Right. Either physics. When the college opens this new specialization for enrollment, it allows originally enrolled in science or arts to switch to Math Eco. Okay, so whatever number of students we have in Math Eco, they go from science or from arts. From among the students originally enrolled in arts, 20 students switch to Math Eco. Okay, so we have, okay, so let's suppose in science we had X students originally, and in arts we have Y students originally, and in Math Eco we have 0 students originally. This is original. Okay. 20 students switch to Math Eco. So, science remains same, and this becomes Y minus 20, and this becomes 20, right? This makes the number of science students twice the number of art students. All right. So, this X is equal to 2 times Y minus 40. X is equal to 2 times Y minus 20. So, it is X equal to 2Y minus 40. 2Y minus 40. Right. So, I would rather write X. Now that we have X, remove it, and we write it as 2Y minus 40. 2y minus 40. This is after the first change, right? In fact, just to create space, I am removing it so that this space can be utilized further. So, what all we have used till now, originally 20 students to switch to Math Eco. This makes the number of science students twice the number of art students. Now, after this, so from here, from among the students who originally enrolled in science, 45 students switched to Math Eco. Okay, so second change. In the second change, what happens? From here, 45 students leave. So this 2y minus 40 minus 45. So it will become 2y minus 85. And they switch to Math Eco. So 20 plus 45 will become 65. This will remain same, y minus 20. This is 85. Okay. What did I do? I'll just repeat once more. From the science 2y minus 40, 45 children have left. So the remaining would be 2y minus 85, and Math Eco would become 20 plus 45, that is 65. So we have used this information also. This makes the number of art students twice the number of science students. So now y minus 20 is 2 times this. Wow. So y minus 20 is 2 times number of art students is 2 times number of science students. So 2y minus 85. That should be y minus 20 equal to 4y minus 170. Okay, so 3y is equal to 150, and this gives us y equal to 50. Fantastic. So if y is 50, everything can be calculated. This is 50, this is 60, right? In the end, this will be 2 into y, that is 100 minus 85, so 15. In the end, this will be y minus 20, that is 30, and this is 65. So beginning we had 60 plus 50, 110. In the end, we had 15 plus 65, 80, and 30, 110. So total number of students is 110, right? Let's see if it is required or not. In total, how many students from among the originally enrolled in science or arts are now taking economics? You see, economics is allowed to only arts people and math eco. So all these people are having economics. So originally there were 110 students in all, but out of that, in the end, you'll see that these 30 arts people have economics, these 30, and these math eco, these people have economics. So 30 plus 65, 30 plus 65, and that is 95 students have economics, right? So very simple, beautiful question, a lot of chances of making mistake. So 95 is the answer. Among the given options here, 95 option 2 is the correct answer. The question says the cost of running a movie theater is 10,000 per day plus additional rupees 5,000 per show. So cost per day, that is equal to 10,000 rupees is the theater cost plus 5,000 per show. The theater has 200 seats, a new movie released on Friday. There are 3 shows, so 3 into 5,000, that is 15,000. So 15 and 10, 25,000 is the total cost. Right. Where the ticket price was rupees 250 each for the first 2 shows and rupees 200 for the late night show. The capacity is 200 and there are total 3 shows. So clearly 600 seats are to be filled, 200 into 3 shows. So 600 seats are available. Okay. Now for all shows together, the total occupancy was 80%. Now this is a very nice information. So out of 600, what does it mean? 600 ka 80%. So 80% of 600, that is equal to 480. So basically 480 seats are fulfilled or filled, 480 seats filled. And then the question says, what was the maximum amount of profit? See, the profit will be maximum when the revenue or the collection is maximum. When can the collection is maximum? Can the selection be maximum? When the price of the ticket is more. So in the first show, in the second show, in the third show, you see, we have to make sure that we get total of 480 seats. 480 seats filled, right. So we here the price in the first show is 250 rupees, in the second show 250 rupees, and in the third show it is 200 rupees. So we'll try and make sure that more and more people go into this 250 wala show. Okay? So in the number of people, what we do is we distribute 480, maximum that can go in any show is 200. So we put 200 here in the first, 200 here in the second. So 400 are completed. Only 80 will go to the third. So that the collection is, this is the maximum possible collection in any case. Okay? So the collection amount, see, it doesn't say 80% in every show. It says together the occupancy is 80%. Okay? So 200 and 250, that is 50,000. 200 and 250, 50,000. And 200 into 80, that is 16,000. So 1,16,000 is the total collection. Total collection is rupees 1,16,000. Okay, and total cost was rupees 25,000 per day. So the profit is going to be 1,16,000 minus 25,000. That is 91,000. Okay, so this question also has a lot of chances of making a mistake if you don't read it carefully. You know, I always say that read carefully, yaar. Aap kitna bhi karo, kuch bhi karo, at least read carefully. Always remember, accuracy is the most important part. Whichever exam it is, CAT, XAT, MAT, SNAP, sahi hi nahi hoga, tum pura paper kar dalo, how does it matter? Okay, so make sure that the accuracy is higher. For that, read slow, read properly. So 91,000. See, in the end of the day, nobody is going to do the entire paper. Nobody is capable of doing the entire paper mostly. Okay, they are going to leave some questions. So why not leave a question by choice? Okay, get involved into only those questions in which you are more comfortable. Okay, this is a very interesting question. It's a question based on a past year question of CAT, and it's a very beautiful calculation. There are multiple ways of doing it. There are 2 ways. We can assume the speed, we can calculate the distance and time, or we can assume the time and we can calculate the speed and distance. Okay. So distance is 11,200. Suppose original speed is s, time is t, right? Now suppose to take off at 6:30 a.m. due to bad weather, the departure of the flight got delayed by 3 hours. So if it got delayed by 3 hours and if we don't change the speed, we'll reach 3 hours late, right? But the pilot increased the average speed, the aeroplane, by 100 km per hour and initially and planned average speed to reduce the overall delay to 1 hour. Now this is very interesting. Okay, so it was supposed to be delayed by 3 hours. That means in the second case, delayed by 1 hour. What does that mean? That means the time difference is 2 hours. So in the normal case, this was the normal speed situation, है ना? 3 hours late start किया, 3 hours late पहुंचेगा. So normal speed situation, in that case the time taken should be t hours. Delayed by 1 hour means that increased speed by how much? 100 kilometers per hour. I'm just explaining the question. In that case, the time taken should be t plus 1 hours. T plus 2 hours. Now, this is the interesting part where a lot of people make a mistake. They take 1. It is t minus 2 hours. T minus 2 hours. Try to understand that. I'll explain again. If it travels on the normal speed, it will take t hours. It started 3 hours late, so it will reach 3 hours late. In the second case, it is delayed by only 1 hour. What does that mean? It was supposed to be 3 hours late. Okay. It has increased the speed, so it will take less time. How much less? It will take 2 hours less, so that the delay is now only of 1 hour. It is compensated by 2 hours. So time taken here is t hours. Okay. And time taken here is t minus 2 hours. Right? So what does that mean? This distance 11,200 divided by time taken t, this is the speed, normal speed. Okay. And the increased speed should be distance 11,200 divided by t minus 2. This is the increased speed. We know the speed is equal to distance divided by time. That's what we are doing. Increased speed. The difference between these two speeds is 100. This is higher, denominator is smaller, so this is higher and this is smaller. The difference between them is 100 km per hour. Right? So if you understand this, now I'm going to remove this. So if you understand this, you could have directly started with this equation 11,200 by t minus 2 minus 11,200 divided by t, that should be equal to 100. So 100 cancel, 1, 1, 2 common, LCM t into t minus 2, we will have t minus t plus 2 equal to 1. Right? So just simplify carefully. So t and t cancel, we have 1, 1, 2 into 2 equal to t into t minus 2. Now 1, 1, 2 into 2 is 2 to 4. If you factorize 2 to 4 into two parts such that the difference is 2, there is only one possibility, and that is 16 into 14. Wow. Right? So simply factorize 2 to 4 in such a manner that you get difference between them as 2. So very clearly t is equal to 16 hours. Right? So t is equal to 16 hours. This is the normal time. Distance 11,200, so normal speed would be 11,200 divided by 16. That is 700 kilometers per hour. This is a very sensible situation. All right. Now, what is the question saying? Had the pilot increased the average speed by 350 kilometers per hour from the initially planned average speed, then when would have the flight reached its destination? Let's check. Okay, so initially it was planned to start at 6:30 a.m., travel for 16 hours and reach at 16 plus 6, 22, that is 10:30 p.m. This was the original plan. But it got delayed by 3 hours, so it starts at 9:30 a.m. now. Okay. And how much time will it take now? So the new speed, the newest speed is 700 plus 350, that is 1050 kilometer per hour. Okay. Right. So now the time taken would be distance 11,200 divided by 1050. Right? Just simplify carefully. So 7 cancels, 160 times, 7 cancels, how many times? 160 times, so 160 and divide by 7, so this is 15. 5 cancels, so 32 divided by 3 hours. Right? So it is 3 hours, not 3 hours, 30 by 3 is 10. So 10 hours and 2 by 3 hours. So 10 hours and 40 minutes. So this is 10 hours and 40 minutes. Right? 10 hours and 40 minutes. This we could have done directly also, because 350 is exactly half. So the ratio of speed would have been 2:3. So time would be 3:2. 3 stands for 16 hours and 2 stands for how much? So 32 by 3 hours. But yeah, देखने में जितना attractive लग रहा है उतना है नहीं. Calculation would have taken the same amount of time. So 10 hours and 40 minutes. Add it to 9:30. So plus 10 hours 40 minutes. So 10, 19, 10 and 9, 19, 30, 7:30 and 40, 8:10. So 8:10 p.m. would be the arrival time now. Oh, so it would actually reach 2 hours 20 minutes early. So 8:10 p.m. option C is the correct answer. So it's a very nice question of time, speed, distance. Now this is a beautiful question of log. Okay, it's a very simple question. It says consider the equation log x minus 2 to the base 5. I'll write it again. Is equal to 2 log 2x minus 4 to the base 25. I'll write this 25 as 5 square so that this power comes out in denominator, where x is a real number. For how many different values of x does the equation hold? Now, first of all, because it is x minus 2 here, so x minus 2 cannot be equal to 0. So x cannot be equal to 2. Similarly, 2x minus 4 cannot be equal to 0. So 2x cannot be equal to 4, x cannot be, oh wow, this is the same condition. So this is the premise that we have, that x cannot be equal to 2. Now simplify. So this side is still the same, log x minus 2 to the base 5. This 2 comes outside, 2 by 2 cancels, and we have log to the base 5 2x minus 4. So log to the base 5, log to the base 5. That means the quantity inside should be exactly the same, right? So we have x minus 2 equal to 2x minus 4. That means we have x equal to 2. But we have already x not equal to 2. So this is not valid. This is not valid. Okay, what does that mean? No solution. As simple as that. No solution. Bas, khatam, yahi pe. Okay, so no solution means how many different values of x? Option C, 0 is the correct answer. Now this is a simple question of arithmetic progression. So we'll follow the very basic concept. In a school, there are a number of students in each class from class 1 to 10 in that order are in arithmetic progression. The total number of students from class 1 to 5 is twice the total number of students from class 6 to 10. So this is 5 classes and this also is 5 classes. You know, if they are in arithmetic progression, we can assume the first term to be A, common difference to be D, right? So 1 to 5, the first term would be A and the last term would be A plus 4D. Okay. And from 6 to 10, the first term would be A plus 5D and the last term would be A plus 9D. Anna? That's what it means? Right. So the sum of these numbers is simply, you know, even if we apply the most general formula, that is n by 2, so 5 by 2 into A plus 2A plus n minus 1, that is 5 minus 1 into D, that is equal to 2 times the sum of these 5 terms, where the first term is A plus 5D. So 5 by 2 into 2A plus 10D plus n minus 1, that is 4D, right? So I have written exactly what is required to be written. Okay, I have 5 minus 1 ki jagah, I have already written 4. So for the 5 by 2 is cancelled. We have 2A plus 4D equal to 2 into 2A is 4A plus 14 into 2, 28D. What does that mean? That means 2A equal to minus 24D or A is equal to minus 12D. Wow. So this is the relation that we have. Now it says the total number of students from class 1 to 4. Okay, so first class is A, fourth class would be A plus 3D, right? So here to you simply add A plus D and A plus 2D. Chari hai na? So simply add. So if you add simply, you get 4A plus 3 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 1, 4 and 2, 6D. That is equal to 462. Okay, so divide by 2, it is 2A plus 3D is equal to 231. Is that so? Yes. Now A is equal to minus 12, minus 12D. So minus 24 and 3, minus 19D. Fantastic. Right, that is 231. So do we get a value of D from here? It is 4A plus 6D. how many students are there in class 6? So first we need to check, this is 462, we have divided by 2. So minus 24, this is 21, I am sorry, not 19, it is minus 21D. Okay, so D is equal to 21. Oh wow, so D is equal to minus 11. If D is minus 11, if I put it there, A will be equal to minus 12 into minus 11, that is 132. So basically we have got the values of A and D both, right? Once we get the value of A and D, how many students are there in class 6? Class 6 would be A plus 5D. A is minus 12D. Oh, we don't need A. So minus 12D plus 5D, that is minus 7D. So minus 7 into, the value of D is minus 11. Minus 11. So 11 into 7, positive 77. Minus minus plus. So 77, option A is the correct answer. Right? So just follow the very basic concept and solve it. That's it. This question is called data sufficiency. And it's a very interesting situation that is given. There is a mix-up of a lot of things, algebra, geometry, everything. A group of boys is practicing football in a rectangular ground. Raju and Ratan are standing at the two opposite midpoints of the two shorter sides. So if it is a rectangle like this, okay, they're standing at the midpoints, right? Okay, somewhere on the longer side, okay. Raju has the ball who passes it to Rivu. So this is Raju, somewhere this is Rivu, and somewhere this point is, this midpoint is Ratan. So he passes the ball like this, then he passes the ball like this, then he passes the ball like this. Now the diagram may not be to the scale, but it says that this one is 90 degree, right? Okay. Now, longer side. Now Rivu holds the ball for 3 seconds, passes it to Ratan. Ratan holds the ball for 2 seconds and passes it back to Raju. The path of the ball from Raju to Ravi makes a right angle triangle with the path of the ball from Rivu to Ratan. The speed of the ball whenever passed is always 10 meters per second, and the ball always moves on straight line along the ground. See, one thing is very clear. The larger side, if I take it to be A, and the smaller side, if I take it to be B, then this part is B by 2. This part is B by 2, this total is A. Suppose this length is X, this length is Y, this is A. There is no confusion about it. So already one equation that we have is X square plus Y square. That is A square. This is one equation. Similarly, look at this right angle triangle, the small right angle triangle here and the small right angle triangle here. From this, what about the length of this part? Can you calculate the length of this part? The length of this part would be square root of X square minus B by 2 whole square. Okay, plus Y square, if this is Y hypotenuse, this is B by 2, so this length will be equal to Y square minus B by 2 whole square, square root. You see the sum of these two parts, is the entire length, which is equal to A. So this is equal to A. So we already have two variables, two equations and three variables. X, Y, A, B, 4 variables. 2 equations, 4 variables. This is already we have, right? Now, whenever they pass, it's always the speed is 10 meters per second. The ball always moves in straight lines along the ground. Consider the following two additional pieces of information. First information is dimension of the ground is 80 and 50. And the area of the triangle formed by Raju, Rivu and Ratan is 1000 square meter. Okay. So two different informations are given. Question is, consider the problem of computing the following. How many seconds does it take? So we want to find the time. And how do we find the time? Distance divided by speed. Here the distances are x, y and a. So x plus y plus a is the total distance divided by the speed. Speed is 10 meters per second plus the extra stoppage. Stoppage is 3 seconds and 2 seconds, 5. So this is what we have to find. So basically we have to find x, y, a. We have to find x, y, a. Right? Now, let's see which statement tells us the answer. So if I use the first statement, the dimension of the ground is 80 by 50. So larger one is 80. Let me change the color to show that we are checking a statement. I am checking statement 1. If I am checking the statement 1, A is 80, B is 50. So B by 2 is 25. That means this will become x square plus y square equal to 80 square. X square plus y square equal to 80 square. This is one equation. And here we'll get x square minus 25 square root of x square minus 25 square plus, I'm sorry, it is plus y square minus 25 square, and that is equal to 80. Very clearly two distinct equations, two variables. When we solve it, we will be able to find the value of x and y both. So statement 1 will give us, we don't need to solve it. See, this is a very simple equation. We have done it many times in algebra. Take one of them to the other side, square it, 25 square will cancel. Then 80 square can be written as x square plus y square, then x square will get cancelled. So everything, and we get one single equation in y, right? So from here, or you can do that here itself. X square plus y square is 80 square. So one of them, say x square is equal to 80 square minus y square. So put it here, 80 square minus y square minus 25 square plus square root of y square minus 25 square is equal to 80. Solve that, you will get values of x and y. Once you get the values of x and y, right, you put it here, x plus y plus a upon 10, and you will be able to find the answer. So statement 1 is sufficient, that is very clear. Right? It's a long equation, and in exam also you don't need to solve. Once you get the situation that you can find the answer, leave it there. So first statement is sufficient, definitely sufficient. What about the second statement? The area of the triangle found by Raju, Rivu and Ratan is 1000 square meter. Let's change the color again. Area of the triangle, that is xy, so that is 90 degrees. So half into, I'm checking statement 2, half into x into y, that is 1000. So we get x into y is equal to 2000. Now this has multiple possibilities. 20 into 100, I mean 100 into 20, 50 into 40, right? 200 into 10, right? So multiple possibilities. So we cannot say anything about the values of x and y. Even if we try to guess the value of a and b, can we do that? Let's check. Let's check. The triangle area is 1000. So the corresponding parallelogram area will be double of that. So 2000. So a into b by 2, that will be 2000. No, but still there are multiple possibilities, right? So from here we cannot ascertain, okay, from here we cannot ascertain the values of a or b or values of x and y. From here we are getting a into b is 4000 and x into y is 2000. There are still multiple possibilities. Okay, so that means we cannot identify the exact situation. There will be at least two cases, more than two cases are possible, but I am saying that there will be at least two cases. So second statement is not sufficient, not sufficient. And if you have got already an answer from one statement, you cannot combine. So only statement 1 is sufficient to answer the question. So 1 alone is sufficient to solve the problem. Option A is the correct answer. The question says, FS food stall sells only chicken biryani. If FS fixes the selling price of rupees 160 per plate, 300 plates of biryani are sold. For each increase in the selling price by rupees 10 per plate, 10 fewer plates are sold. Okay. So price is 160 rupees per plate and the number of plates is 300. So if I increase the price by 10, 10 less plates are sold. Okay. Similarly, for each decrease in selling price of 10 rupees per plate, 10 more plates are sold. FS incurs a cost of rupees 120 per plate of biryani and has decided that the selling price will never be less than the cost price. So the cost is 120, okay, and has decided that the selling price will never be less than the cost price. Moreover, due to capacity constraints, more than 400 plates cannot be produced in a day. Nice, that's good. So in a general scenario, if 300 plates are sold, there is a profit of 40 rupees. Okay. Now, if I increase the price, okay, there is another thing. It says that if the selling price of any given day is the same for all the plates and can only be a multiple of rupees 10. This is a very important information. Otherwise, we would have broken it down. You know, it's like 10 rupees per plate and 10 fewer plates. So 1 rupee per plate, 1 plate lesser. That doesn't work. We have to work in multiples of 10 only. So that is fixed. So it will be like 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 40 rupees increase or 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 10 rupees decrease. It cannot be 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 3 rupee increase or decrease. That is very clear. They have said it. The multiples of 10 should be there. So that means the number of plates difference should also be a multiple of 10 only. Okay. Okay, so then what is the maximum profit that FS can achieve in a day? So let's assume that the change in price is 10x, then change in number of plates will also be 10x. Just that you have to understand, if the price increases, number of plates will decrease. If the price decreases, number of plates will increase. Take any situation, it doesn't matter. Okay? If I change the price as increase, if I take price as increase, in that case I will have to take the number of plates as decrease. Right? My cost is fixed 120. My selling price will become 160 plus 10x. This is my selling price minus the cost price 120. This is profit per plate into the number of plates. Number of plates will be 300 and that should decrease. Remember, this is selling price minus cost price. So profit. Number of plates will decrease minus 10x. And this is the total profit. This is the total profit. So what do we have? We have 40, 160 plus 10 minus 120. 40 plus 10x, 10 common, 4 plus x. Into 10 common, 30 minus x. Wow. So we have 10 into 10, that is 100. Inside we have 4 into 30, 120. X into 30, 30x plus 30x minus 4x, so plus 26x minus x square. Fantastic. We have to find the maximum value of the total profit. This is a quadratic expression. X square coefficient is negative. So the maximum value will be, so if coefficient of x square is negative, maximum value of the quadratic expression, x is equal to minus b by 2a. So minus b is how much? 26 divided by 2 into a is what? A is not 120, a is the coefficient of x square, which is minus 1. So minus 26 divided by 2 into minus 1, minus cancel, it is 13. So put x equal to 13 in this, you will get the maximum profit. So if you put x equal to 13, so now you can put either here or you can put here, doesn't matter. इसी को open करने से वो आया था. So whatever it is, 13 plus 4, 17. So 10 into 17 into 10 into 30 minus 13, that is 17. That is 28900. So 28,900 rupees is the profit, is the maximum profit. What is the maximum profit that FS can achieve in a day? 28,900. Option C is the correct answer, right? This question says, consider the system of two linear equations as follows: 3x plus 21y plus p equal to 0 and qx plus ry minus 7 equal to 0, where p, q and r are real numbers. Now, this is such a beautiful question. It says, which of the following statements definitely contradicts the fact that the lines represented by the two equations are coinciding. Kitna sundar question hai. You just have to work normally and find something that does not follow or that does not allow this to happen. That's it. What is a normal situation? Coinciding means the same equation. Now, when I say same equation, it means the coefficient ratio is the same. Coefficient ratio means ratio of coefficient of x, ratio of coefficient of y and ratio of constant terms should be equal. So 3 by q should be equal to 21 by r should be equal to p upon minus 7. Now create relations pairwise. So one thing is very clear, that r by q is 7 by 1, or you can say r is equal to 7q. This is one relation. Second one will be, if I take 3q and p by minus 7, p into q is minus 21. If I take r and p together, it will be p into r, that is equal to minus 147. Okay? So these are the relations that we have. What all things can we say from here? One thing is very clear, that r and q are of same sign. So two cases, if q positive, r positive, in that case, if q positive, r positive, p has to be negative. Clearly, if p is negative, then p cannot be the largest that is visible, right? So here, p cannot be the largest. That is one thing very clear. Similarly, if I take both Q and R to be negative. Q negative, R negative. In that case, Q negative, R negative. So P has to be positive. In this case, definitely P will be largest. है ना? So these are the things without getting into the complicated matters. अभी तो हम complicated matters में गए ही नहीं. Just by looking at this, this is all that we can say. Also, if I write it like this, then Q and R are in denominator. So Q cannot be equal to 0. R cannot be equal to 0. If I just rotate it, I can also write this as Q by 3 equal to R by 21 equal to minus 7 by P. So from here we can see that P also cannot be equal to 0. So these are the things that just by looking at this we can say that, right? Now, so P cannot be 0. Now this is in sync. It does not create any trouble. This should be. So this is true. So this cannot be the answer. We want something that is ulta, opposite of any of these things, right? And for definite. So this is not contradicting. This is supporting. P and Q must have opposite signs. P and Q must have opposite signs. P and Q must have opposite signs. So P and Q, yes, P and Q. Oh, this is also supporting. This is not contradicting, this is supporting. The largest among PQR is Q. The largest among PQR is Q. Now that is a possibility here. That is not a possibility here. In this case, Q and R are positive. So there is possibility that Q may be. Okay, so this may be the answer. So I'll just put a mark here. R and Q must have same sign. R and Q, oh, that was the first condition that we started with. So this cannot be the answer, right? The smallest among PQR is R. That is a possibility. Smallest among PQR is R. That is a possibility. Because when in this case, when R is negative, it is possible that R is the smallest. In fact, in this first case, P is smallest. So P is smallest. And in the second case, P is largest. Okay. Now, the largest among PQR is Q. That is not true in this case for sure. When P is largest, Q cannot be the largest. Okay. There is another thing that you can see. R is equal to 7Q. Right. I think this is good enough. In the first case, where Q and R both are positive, in that case, R is equal to 7Q. So R will be greater than Q, will be greater than, P. Q will be greater than, P is negative, so it will be smallest. So Q cannot be the largest here. In this case, wow. So P cannot be the largest, Q also cannot be the largest. And in this case, P is the largest. So clearly, Q cannot be largest here, Q cannot be largest here. So somewhere it says the largest among PQR is Q. That is contradictory. That is not supporting in any situation. So this is our answer. The smallest among PQR is R. Is that a possibility? That is a possibility here. Yes. In that case, if you see both are negative, So for example, if you just take Q equal to minus 1, R will be, just for example, R will be minus 7. So clearly R is the smallest. So in this case, P is the largest, then Q, and then R. So R is the smallest is a possibility, so that also cannot be the answer. So by simple basic analysis, not a very big question, it's not a very big deal. It's just that you have to understand the meaning of sign, of multiplication of two positive numbers, ratio of two positive numbers, and so on and so forth. Right? So it's a simple question. Keep it simple. Answer is option C as per the option given on the board. This C is the correct answer. This is an interesting question. It says a king has distributed all his rare jewels in 3 boxes. The first box contains 1/3 of the rare jewels, while the second box contains k by 5 of the rare jewels, and for some positive integer value of k, okay, the third box contains 66 rare jewels. Very simple. Simply start. Don't think anything else. Let's say the total is x. Right? Any shortcut or anything that you come to know, mostly it happens after the exam. During the exam, you just simply focus on the process. One thing that we can say is 1 by 3, so the x has to be a multiple of 3. 1 by 5, so x has to be a multiple of 5, so x has to be a multiple of 15. Also, the outcome somewhere is 66 in one of them, so it has to be a multiple of 11 also. And 2 also. So 66, 3 already there, so 2, 3, 6, 5, 11. So eventually, x has to be a multiple of at least 330. That is very clear. So if you look at the options, 240 cannot be the answer, 1080 cannot be the answer. I'll just repeat very clearly. The rest of the, for example, if I have one part as x, total as x, one part will be x by 3. One part will be k by 5 into x. And one part is 66. Right? So this 66 has to be equal to x minus x by 3 and x by 5x. x by 5k or k by 5x. Let me write that only, right? I think this is good enough. From here you see 66 should be equal to x entirely common 1 minus 1 by 3 and minus k by 5. Just simplify. So 1 minus 1 by 3 is 2 by 3. So 66 is equal to x into 2 by 3 minus k by 5. So from here I can say that x has to be a multiple of 66, x has to be a multiple of 3, x has to be a multiple of 5 because each one of them will be integer. है ना? Each part has to be integer. So from here इतना तो पता चल गया that x is a multiple of 66, 3 and 5. 66, 3 already included into 5, 330. So x has to be a multiple of 330. X has to be a multiple of 330. There will be some answer. So C also cannot be the answer. There will be some value, right? Does the king have? Yeah, because this 66 is a fixed value, there will be a definite value. There will be only one case in which this will be true. Otherwise, it will not be true. Okay, there will be a fixed value. Okay, now what can we do? Let's see. So we have two options, 990, 660. Oh, both the options are multiples of 330. If there was only one option, we could have marked that. Now let's proceed. Also, this is positive. So this 2 by 3 minus k by 5 has to be positive. Wow, fantastic. It cannot be even 0. Because if it is 0, then this 66 wouldn't have been possible. So it has to be clearly greater. So 2 by 3 is greater than k by 5, or we can say that k is, 2 by 3 is greater than k by 5. 2 by 3 is greater than k by 5. Right? So this is k less than 10 by 3. 10 by 3, 3.33. So k can be 1, 2 or 3 because k has to be positive integer. So we can check like this. Also, what we could have done is, we could have put the values of x as multiple of 330 like 330, 660, 990 and so on. So from there also we could have got, and for k is very clearly that these are the only three values possible. What happens if I put k equal to 1? If I put k equal to 1, then x into 2 by 3 minus 1 by 5, will it be equal to 66? Will it give us some valid value of x? Let's check it. So x into, this is 15, this would become 3, 5, 10 minus 5, 3 is equal to 66. 10 minus 3 is 7, 66 is not a multiple of 7. So this is not possible. So k equal to 1 is not possible. If I put k equal to 2, then this becomes x into 2 by 3 minus 2 by 5, and that is equal to 66. Simplify carefully, take 2 common, so x into 2 and 5 minus 3, 2 by 15, that is 66. I don't see anything getting cancelled here. Do we get a value? If you cancel by 2, it is 33. 33 into 15 divide by 2. X is coming out to be 33 into 15. That is odd number. Divide by 2. X should have been integer. So this is also not valid. Wow. So the only one possibility left to be checked is 3. Check it, because there may be a situation that we have to go back and mark answer C. So if I take k equal to 3, then what happens? 66 is equal to x into 2 by 3 minus 3 by 5. Check it carefully. So 66 is equal to x into 15, 3, 5, 5 2s are 10, 5, 3, 3 3s are 9, so 1 by 15, fantastic. So x is equal to 66 into 15, and that is 990. This is the first valid value. That's it. This is the first valid value, 990, and that is the answer. 660 cannot be the answer. So you have to understand that 66 is a unique value. So x and k will have a unique pair from where we can get a definite situation, and k cannot be more than 3. So I cannot have any other situation. So there is a unique value. There is a unique value. Hence C option is not wrong, correct. Option D is the correct answer. This one is a very interesting question. It says, consider a 4-digit number of the form A, B, B, B. That is, the first digit is A greater than 0, and the last 3 digits are all B. So A, B, B, B. This is a 4-digit number. Now, which of the following condition is both necessary and sufficient to ensure that the 4-digit number is divisible by A? This is a direct question. I mean, you don't even need to put any value or even simplify this. You see, what are the numbers that we want it to check for? We want to check the divisibility of A. Now, what can be A? A can be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. A can be anything from 1 to 9. That's it. Now, what are the numbers that you really need to check? If A is 7, then there is only way it is divisible by 7 if B is also 7. There is no other possibility, whatever you do. If A is 7, then B will also have to be 7. Okay, and I'm talking about the problematic ones. If A is 5, then B has to be 5. There is no other way. Now for others, you see, for 2, 4, 6, 8, one thing is very clear, that for if A is 2, 4, 6, 8, B has to be even. Okay. And for 3, 6, 9, we need to check sum of digits. Now what is sum of digits? Sum of digits is A plus 3B. So for most of them, for 3, 6 and 9, it is very, very clear that A plus 3B, for that to be divisible by A, 3B has to be divisible by A. That's it. There is nothing else that you have to think. So what do we have? We have very clearly that 3B should be divisible by A. If that is true, then all the situations will be true, even 5 and 7 also. Now, if we did not understand, then we can go into the details. Let's see how do we go into the details. What is the meaning of A, B, B, B? This is 1000 digits, so A into 1000. So this is equal to 1000 A plus 100 B plus 10 B plus B, which is eventually 1000 A plus 100 plus 10 plus 1, 111 B. This is what we have. Now this number, we want that number to be divisible by A. 1000 A is already divisible, so we can say that 111 B is divisible by A. This is the required situation. Now look at it closely. 111B is actually, 111 is 37 into 3B. This should be divisible by A. And we all know, we said that A can be anything from 1 to 9. Right? Now 37 is not divisible by any of these numbers other than 1. But we have to make sure that it is definite, necessary and sufficient. So 37 is of no use. So what does that mean? 3B should be definitely divisible by A. If that happens, then we can be absolutely sure. Because anyways, 1 has no value, right? 37 is divisible by 1, 3B is also divisible by 1 and so on. So 3B is divisible by A. That is the necessary condition. Can I say only B divisible by A? No, that won't be, that is necessary, but that won't be necessary. Yes, that won't be necessary, right? For example, even if I have A as 3 and B as 2, 2, 2, even if it is not divisible by 3, the answer is it is divisible by 3. Okay, so that is why saying that B is divisible by A is not sufficient in some cases, but saying that 3B is divisible by A, that would be automatically enough for all such situations, right? So for example, if I say A is 7, then you see 3 cannot be divisible by 7, so B will have to be 7. So in that case, all the digits will be 7. Okay, so this is a good enough situation. So including all cases, what we say is 3B is definitely divisible by A. So basically, we did not even need to go to the details. Just from here only it is clear. 37 does not ensure anything. So 3B has to be divisible by A. That's it. So look at the options. B is equal to 0, no. Divisible by A, it is there in most cases, but not always. 9B is not required. 21B is not required. 3B is good enough. So option E is the correct answer.